This page is the cover of the Sega Saturn Fan Magazine, issue number 24, from November 29, 1996. It prominently features anime-style characters, resembling Yang Wenli and Reinhard von Lohengrin, from the series Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which is also listed as a featured topic. The cover highlights Sega's strong efforts, with an express report on their November 8 presentation, focusing on upcoming new games, sequels to hit titles, and a steady stream of arcade ports making their way to the Saturn. Featured arcade fighting games include Virtua Fighter 3, Last Bronx, Capcom's X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and Sega's own Fighters Megamix from AM2 Research. Other key games mentioned span various genres, including Virtua Cop 2, Enemy Zero, Virtualon, Tomb Raider, Tactics Ogre, Shining the Holy Ark, and The King of Fighters 96. The cover provides a snapshot of the exciting lineup of titles available and coming soon to the Sega Saturn at the time. This page is a vibrant announcement spread for the Sega Saturn port of the fast-paced arcade mech combat game, Virtual on Cybertroopers. The left side prominently displays the game's title, confirming its release on November 29 for 5,800 yen. Categorized as a competitive battle simulation with support for dedicated twin sticks. The right side features dynamic artwork of a blue Virtuoid robot ready for action, accompanied by the large text, Battle Start. Additionally, the page highlights two concurrent Sega Saturn promotions, a digital circus tour bringing entertainment and survey-based prizes, and a Xmas Nights campaign tied to the console's second anniversary, offering a limited edition Saturn as a gift. The next page presents a major multi-game feature from SNK on the Sega Saturn. The left side focuses on Samurai Showdown IV, Amakusa's Revenge, showcasing beautiful artwork of Nakoru and Haomaru. It announces the game's release and a related promotion, emphasizing compatibility with the Sega Saturn expansion RAM cartridge for an authentic arcade feel. Pricing for the standard CD and a special set is listed. The right side prominently features The King of Fighters 96, highlighting key characters like Iori Yagami and Chizuru Kagura. It confidently declares the game is ready for the Saturn, also requiring the expansion RAM cartridge, indicating it's the third such port using this hardware. Different release dates and pricing tiers, including a limited double pack, are detailed. Below, there's an exciting announcement for Metal Slug, confirming the arcade classic is also launching on Sega Saturn, complete with vibrant artwork and a screenshot. This spread underscores Slank's dedication to bringing their premier fighting games and other hits to the Saturn, promising arcade-perfect experiences facilitated by the expansion RAM. This page serves as the contents page for the November 29, 1996 issue of Sega Saturn Fan Magazine. A major headline announces an urgent report on a Sega Saturn strategy presentation held on November 8. The left side features a preview for Detective Jinguji Saburo. Unfinished report, showcasing character artwork and confirming its simultaneous release on both PlayStation and Sega Saturn. The right side provides the main table of contents, detailing the magazine's features. Key sections include a special report on the Sega presentation, highlighting confirmed ports like Virtua Fighter 3 and X-Men vs. Street Fighter. The contents list also includes game reviews for titles such as Tomb Raider, Keeves, and Quo Vadis 2, strategy guides for games like Sakura Taisen and Tactics Ogre, and previews of new releases. Regular features like game rankings, reader surveys, and development diaries are also listed, offering insights into the Saturn market and fan interests at the time. The Sega Saturn Fan logo section features artwork from Legend of Galactic Heroes. This page delivers an urgent report on Sega's power-up meeting for 199,697, revealing the upcoming super lineup for the Sega Saturn. The major headline confirms that powerful titles are set for consecutive release. A key announcement is the official decision to port the arcade hit Virtua Fighter 3 to the Saturn, with initial screenshots of the Saturn version revealed. The report highlights its technical features, such as advanced polygon handling and the use of elevated terrain in fights, showcasing a new dimension of combat. Also featured are other major fighting game announcements: Last Bronx, presented as AM2's first original Saturn title, and Fighters Megamix. Capcom joins the lineup with the confirmation of X-Men vs. Street Fighter coming to the console. The page includes a section where AM2 director Yu Suzuki discusses the studio's focus on console development and the strategy behind bringing these highly anticipated arcade titles to the Saturn, promising strong upcoming releases. Screenshots show gameplay from Virtua Fighter 3 and character art for the other featured games. This page continues the report from the Sega Saturn Power-Up meeting, highlighting the strong lineup planned for the end of the year. The main focus is on upcoming releases, including the highly anticipated sequel, Virtua Cop 2, set for release in November. Also featured is Cybertroopers Virtualon, which is noted for its X-Band online battle capabilities, and the simulation RPG Terra Fantastica, arriving in December. Sega is also promoting a special Christmas Nights bundle campaign. The report also touches upon Sega's business strategy and features representatives from both Sega and Capcom discussing future plans and titles. Yu Suzuki of AM2 also speaks about their work. Further details are provided for Fighters Megamix, described as a festival-like fighting game, pulling characters primarily from Virtua Fighter 2 and Fighting Vipers, but also including unique characters like Sonic and Bark the Polar Bear from Sonic the Fighters. This page introduces the highly anticipated Christmas Nights into Dreams, a special limited edition born from fan requests, featuring seasonal themes that change with the Sega Saturn's clock, a unique picture book opening, and even Sonic's appearance. This page dives deep into the bonus content of the limited edition Christmas Nights into Dreams, detailing all the exciting extras requested by fans. You can play as Sonic the Hedgehog in a special stage, explore the Nighttopian collection to see their affection levels, or create your own tunes in the Melody Box. There's also a museum to view concept art and illustrations, a karaoke mode for singing along to Dreams, and various link and score attack modes to test your skills, including mirror courses. The game even features Drive Eggman from the Sonic series as a boss. The page also includes an interview with the Sonic team developers, including Yuji Naka and Naoto Oshima, who share insights into the creation of this festive special edition. It's clear this release is packed with fan service and unique content. This page features a look at two significant titles. First, we dive into Mega Man 8 Anniversary Edition, the latest installment in the classic action series. The article points out the inclusion of striking original anime cutscenes and the detailed character design, emphasizing the effort put into the game's presentation. It details the power-up system where collecting bolts, screws, allows players to craft new abilities and items at Drivelight's lab. There's also mention of rush parts, special items gained after defeating certain enemies that provide useful functions. Screenshots show the vibrant 2D gameplay and character art. Next up is Legend of the Galactic Heroes, a real-time strategy simulation based on the popular anime and novels. The focus here is on mastering fleet combat and strategic planning, which is crucial for unifying the galaxy. Different tactical approaches are highlighted, including long-range bombardment, encirclement, and close-quarters special attacks. The game requires players to carefully assemble their fleets and choose the right strategy for each battle scenario. Screenshots provide a look at the strategic map and tactical interface. This title promises deep, strategic simulation for fans of the series' grand-scale conflicts. This page delves further into the real-time strategy simulation, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, highlighting the crucial role of personnel. The article explains how knowing the original source material enhances the experience, particularly concerning the key commanders and staff who directly impact fleet performance, mobility, and battle strategy. It features portraits and details for several notable characters from both the Free Planets Alliance and the Galactic Empire, including Yang Wenli, Willy Bucock, Reinhard von Lohengrum, and Siegfried Kircheiss, showcasing their different roles and stats. The game incorporates dynamic events like character promotions and even potential rebellions or coups, adding depth to personnel management. The page also reveals a unique new RPG titled Peoreti Kerun no Daibuken. This intriguing game stands out because players aren't given a fixed world map. Instead, they build their own adventure environment by arranging various terrain panels, such as fields, forests, rocks, and ponds, that they acquire. Players explore the map they create, battle monsters, and manage their panel inventory, eventually finding the boss location to advance to the next stage. The game promises a fresh take on exploration and strategy, requiring players to constantly think about how they acquire and utilize their map panels. This page presents a deeper look at the innovative RPG, Peoreti Kerun no Daibuken, previously introduced. It reinforces the unique gameplay, where players build the game world by arranging map panels depicting various environments like forests, villages, and ponds. Exploring these player-created maps leads to encounters with diverse monsters and triggers events. The article highlights key characters such as the protagonist Kerun, a 15-year-old boy, and the Star Spirit, a mysterious figure who grants wishes. Screenshots showcase exploration in a forest panel, a town panel with shops, and a battle scene against monsters, emphasizing the customizable nature of the adventure. The page also features a Super Top Scoop 3, unveiling a new SF adventure game titled Obelisk, Project Oscar. This title stands out by incorporating live-action footage and CG graphics, blending reality and fantasy. It stars popular actress Miki Fujitani and features a total of 10 actresses. The story involves investigating mysterious events in 1997, where ancient ruins vanish, leading the protagonists to time travel to solve the mystery, including visiting ancient Egypt. The article includes images of Miki Fujitani, ancient Egyptian artwork, and a futuristic scene, hinting at the diverse settings players will explore across time. This page continues the dive into Obelisk, Project Oscar, the time travel adventure game introduced on the previous page. It focuses on the live-action aspect, specifically highlighting some of the 8 actresses involved, including Miki Fujitani, who plays 2 roles, the protagonist and a commander. The article also elaborates on the ancient Egypt setting, a key location players will explore to uncover mysteries, referencing the game's title, which is derived from the Egyptian obelisk structure. Screenshots showcase the actresses and detailed CG renderings of Egyptian temples, statues, and artifacts, emphasizing the game's blend of live-action footage and computer graphics. The right side unveils a new scoop, Tenchi Muyo, Tuku Muu, which is being ported to the Saturn. Described as a school love comedy adventure, the game features the main cast from the popular anime series alongside 3 original characters created specifically for this title. The gameplay is a command selection adventure where player choices influence the story. It's set at Tenchi's high school and focuses on the Chowtic daily life there. The game is slated for a late December release and is nearing completion at 90% development. This page continues the Tenchi Muyo Tuku Muu coverage from the previous page, detailing Saturn-specific additions. It mentions a bonus CD and increased movie scenes compared to the PlayStation version, promising to enhance the story presentation. There's also a section about the Anirati collection, a mysterious bonus CD content exclusive to the Saturn. The main characters are introduced with illustrations, including familiar faces like Ryuki, Washu, Ayeka, Sasami, Ryoko, and Mihoshi and Kiyone, alongside the protagonist Tenchi. The right side unveils a major scoop, the upcoming Saturn port of the arcade hit, Dynamite Deca. Known internationally as Die Hard Arcade or Dynamite Cop, this action-packed brawler tasks players, controlling police officers Bruno or Cindy, with infiltrating a terrorist-occupied building to rescue the president's daughter. The article highlights the game's polygonal 3D graphics, noting that character movements are smooth, a welcome feature for the time. Screenshots showcase intense combat and dynamic action sequences, including rappelling from a helicopter, emphasizing the game's action movie-like direction. It also confirms the inclusion of 2-player co-op, letting friends team up to beat down thugs. The game is slated for release in late January 97. This page dives deeper into the action of Die Hard Arcade, showcasing various combat techniques used by Bruno and Cindy. It highlights their SWAT-style tactics and the ability to use almost anything in the environment as a weapon, from handheld objects to larger items. Screenshots demonstrate striking, grappling combos, and even using throwable weapons like a missile launcher. The article also touches on grappling moves and how different command inputs lead to various throws. It also previews event scenes, which are reactive moments triggered by player actions, requiring quick input for success or failure. The right side of the page unveils an exciting look at Virtual On Cybertroopers, confirming its impending release. A large image prominently features a Virtuaroid, showcasing the game's distinctive mecha combat style. The text mentions the release is just 2 weeks away and highlights the ability to experience the Virtuaroids firsthand. A data table provides key details, including the release date of November 29th, the price, genre as 3D action, single-player campaign, 2-player simultaneous play, support for twin sticks, and battery backup save for high scores and continues. This is definitely one to look forward to for intense mech duels. This page dives deep into the mechanics of Virtual On Cybertroopers, picking up right after the exciting announcement. It reveals that a special X-band compatible version is coming soon, allowing for fierce head-to-head battles over the modem with full split-screen action. which is fantastic news for dedicated fans. A major highlight is the confirmation that the formidable boss, Virtuoid, Jaggeranod, will actually be playable under certain conditions, hinting at some seriously powerful options once unlocked. The main focus shifts to a breakdown of Virtuon's unique combat system, emphasizing how tactics dramatically change based on the distance between you and your opponent. Mid-range is the standard fighting distance, while closing to within 100 meters triggers automatic weapon changes to high-damage melee attacks, a risky but potentially rewarding move. Long-range combat over 300 meters becomes much harder, with accuracy dropping significantly. The article also explains the critical lock-on system, which is essential for hitting targets effectively, especially the double lock-on, which seems to offer even greater precision in close quarters. It emphasizes the importance of finding the optimal distance and knowing when to push in for a potential tide-turning attack. The screenshots throughout the page effectively illustrate these various distances and combat scenarios. This page continues the in-depth exploration of Virtual On Cyber Troopers, focusing on its strategic depth and advanced combat techniques. It breaks down essential actions, explaining that the dash isn't just about movement, but a versatile maneuver with varied effects depending on the attack. Crouching attacks are highlighted as effective tools for disrupting and knocking down opponents. The tactical use of jump is also crucial, not only for evasion, but for quickly relocking onto enemies and executing surprise attacks, especially from behind cover. The page stresses the importance of combining different weapons for complex, multi-stage attacks that can overwhelm defenses. A key technique detailed is the cancel, which allows players to skip attack recovery frames, enabling fast, continuous offense and unpredictable movement mix-ups when applied to dashes and jumps. Using the environment is vital. Obstacles serve as excellent shields, blocking incoming fire and providing cover for strategic repositioning. Guarding is essential for survival in close-quarters melee combat, significantly reducing damage. Finally, it notes that certain Virtuoids, like Viper 2, truly shine when focusing on aerial tactics, using their superior jump capabilities to gain an advantage. This page offers a final review of the 8 Virtuoids featured in Virtual On Cyber Troopers before its release, outlining their combat types and main weapon loadouts, hinting at varied playstyles from all-rounders to specialized fighters like the airborne Viper 2 or the agile Fighter. The page then switches gears to Virtua Cop 2, presenting an in-depth guide to the Saturn way, a route exclusive to the home version. It walks players through the entire path, showcasing various action sequences from this unique stage, including intense car chases, train assaults, and encounters with new enemy types like ninjas. A small box provides essential release details for Virtua Cop 2, and a large banner promises a comprehensive strategy guide in the following issue. This page continues the deep dive into Virtua Cop 2, picking up the chase as the heroes infiltrate the terrorists' underground base and parking lot. It showcases intense shootouts in narrow corridors and open parking areas, highlighting dangerous new enemy types who throw multiple grenades and hide behind cover, like cars and pillars. The page then moves to the climactic boss encounter of an advanced stage, the formidable Cat Tank. This unique boss is a heavily armored vehicle, with dangerous missile attacks from a distance, and powerful melee strikes up close, requiring players to adapt their strategy to survive. Finally, the page details the game's essential option settings available just before starting play. It explains how players can adjust difficulty levels, the meaning behind the changing colors of the targeting reticle which indicate enemy threat, and how to set the reticle's spread. It also covers configuring lives and continues, clarifies the 2 main ways to lose health, getting shot or hitting civilians/explosives, and provides guidance on setting up controllers and the Virtua Gun for optimal play, including a sound test feature. It's a comprehensive look at customizing the experience and understanding the core mechanics. This page explores features of Virtua Cop 2 on the Sega Saturn and previews the upcoming simulation RPG, Terra Fantastica. Virtua Cop 2 boasts Saturn-exclusive features, like customizable gameplay options. Players can disable the targeting reticle for a greater challenge, and utilize auto-reload to streamline gunplay. A detailed ranking system tracks performance, including score and accuracy. The game also allows players to switch between modes that emulate the original arcade experience. The page also previews Terra Fantastica, showcasing movie screens of the nearly completed SRPG. The game features tactical battles and unveils the main antagonist, the Demon General Evil Shade. Isometric screenshots highlight unit control, specifically the Mice Army. The visuals appear promising, blending strategic gameplay with cinematic presentation. This page delves further into upcoming releases and new features for Sega Saturn. On the left, The simulation RPG Terra Fantastica is highlighted, focusing on new elements in battle scenes. Key features include the introduction of recovery points on the tactical map, simplifying unit deployment and flow. The page also details how exploring specific locations on the map can trigger events, leading to new characters joining the player's party, adding depth to the strategic layer. Screenshots showcase the isometric battle maps and character interactions. The right side presents Sega Power-Up Report 5, focusing on the driving game Sega Rally Championship. It previews the various vehicles available, introducing 8 distinct car types players can choose from the start. The report details how each car possesses unique performance characteristics in grip, acceleration, and top speed, allowing players to select a machine that best suits their driving style. Featured cars include the well-rounded Hornet, the easy-to-handle Max perfect for beginners, the challenging but high-performing Phoenix, and the Gallop, described as a minor variant of the Hornet. The page emphasizes that finely tuned vehicle performance is a core element of the game. This page continues the Sega Power-Up Report series, diving into more upcoming Sega Saturn titles. On the left, Daytona USA Circuit Edition is featured, elaborating on the different vehicles available, much like the car preview in the previous report. It details 4 specific cars. Oriole, which is fast but tricky with grip. Wolf, described as good for drifting. Magic, noted for its unstable handling requiring skill. And Balance, highlighted for its excellent grip. The text explains the handling characteristics of each, helping players choose a car suited to their style. The right side presents Sega Power-Up Reports 6, focusing on Riglord Saga 2, known internationally as Blazing Heroes. This section offers a strategy guide covering the early to mid-game, moving from the initial areas towards the enemy base. It provides tactical advice for locations like the Ninja House, including how to deal with tricky traps, and the boss. It also covers the Nizuna Cave, detailing strategies for combat and how to recruit Nizuna, a powerful Shikigami ally, into your party, emphasizing the importance of using magic against certain enemies. The next page continues the comprehensive strategy guide for Blazing Heroes. It covers navigating perilous locations such as Mount Hurai, warning players about the challenging terrain and enemy movements. It also details how to tackle Seryukaku by dividing your party strategically to handle encounters efficiently, including advice on facing the boss, Martha, who relies heavily on powerful magic attacks like Thunderblast and Mega Healing. The guide then progresses to traversing the barrier cave on Mount Fuji, emphasizing the need to clear continuous enemy spawns quickly to advance to Getten Castle. Once inside Getten Castle, players are advised that the enemies are tougher and more numerous, utilizing powerful techniques like Crush and Freeze Blast. The strategy suggests luring enemies into bottlenecks and eliminating them systematically, noting that all foes must be defeated to proceed. Finally, the page details the formidable boss of Getten Castle, Garzard, highlighting his high stats and dangerous abilities like Heavy Strike and Freezing, and recommends focusing on defensive preparation and consistent healing for a long battle. This guide focuses on the mid-game of Blazing Heroes, specifically in the nation of Kadar. Players gain new allies: Angie, a vital healer with powerful healing spells, and Myu, who utilizes wind-based attacks and movement advantages. The guide emphasizes strategic use of their abilities, particularly in areas with aerial enemies. Before tackling the Tower of the Seven Committee, the guide recommends stocking up on recovery items. The primary objective within the tower is to reach checkpoints and ultimately confront Garzard, a powerful bow-wielding boss. The strategy prioritizes ignoring weaker enemies and concentrating attacks on Garzard. Utilize defensive spells like Protect Shield and exploit his weakness to magic with spells such as Strong and Small. This page continues the guide for Blazing Heroes, focusing on navigating the underground passage. It highlights a puzzle involving stepping on blue panels to create bridges. The guide advises using one character as a decoy while another activates the panel, noting that enemies are numerous here. It also mentions that Myu and Kami, the dragon form, lose half their HP when reverting to human form, making HP recovery crucial. The large table lists various skills, their properties, MP cost, and effect range, covering a wide range of combat abilities available to the party. The page also features a large section on Sakura Wars, teasing secret information revealed by the development team. It includes a large title graphic for Sakura Wars, Sakura Taisen, and information about the game's release date, September 27th, price, platform, Sega Saturn, and genre, adventure. An interview section titled Planner and Graphic Developer Interview Part 2, Movies and Lips Edition, discusses the development process, including creating preview movies and working on the Lips limited time system segments. The developers share insights into preparing assets and voice recordings. There's also a section about a Sakura Wars 1997 calendar release, noting it comes with a poster and urging fans to grab it before it's gone. The artwork shows the main cast of Sakura Wars. The next page features ongoing interviews about the adventure elements of Sakura Wars and highlights the upcoming release of Victory Goal Worldwide Edition, a soccer game with significant upgrades. This page continues the discussion with the developers of Sakura Wars, specifically touching upon the adventure sections, movie sequences, and the Lips decision system. The developers pictured share insights into crafting these interactive and narrative elements. Alongside this, a large section is dedicated to Victory Goal Worldwide Edition, the latest iteration of Sega's soccer franchise. This version boasts numerous improvements over its predecessor, including the ability to edit player names for any of the 48 included teams. The game also implements a dynamic ranking system based on match results, allowing players to climb or fall in the standings. Gameplay mechanics and controls, such as canceling dashes and directing shots, have been refined for a smoother experience. The page features screenshots showcasing the game's menus, player editing screen, and on-field action, emphasizing the expanded team roster and competitive ranking system. This page delves further into the modes available in Victory Goal Worldwide Edition, showcasing the variety offered. Players can engage in quick exhibition matches, compete in the World League mode for league victory, or challenge themselves in the new Worldwide Cup, mirroring the 98 tournament format with 48 teams. The game also includes a penalty shootout mode and a detailed player edit feature, allowing customization of player names and attributes. Screenshots illustrate the different mode menus, team selection, league standings, and the player editing interface, highlighting the expanded content and features. Also featured is the Sega Saturn title, Madu Monogatari Gaiden Princess Clara Daisakusen, a water-view scrolling shooting action game. This game supports cooperative play for 1 or 2 players simultaneously, and boasts a system where player abilities like Pure Aura and the Pure Egg grow throughout the stages. It offers unique gameplay mechanics like the Jewel Attack system, and features 18 different multi-endings based on player actions, adding significant replay value. The page includes screenshots of the game in action, and mentions a bonus desk calendar and a store-specific poster offer. This page features 2 distinct Sega Saturn titles. On the left is Sengoku Ace Episode 2, the sequel to the classic horizontal shooting game Sengoku Ace, known internationally as Tengai or Sengoku Blade. It showcases character artwork for the game's diverse cast and highlights its Saturn port, featuring 2-player co-op and numerous multi-endings. On the right is Vatva, a futuristic fighting and vehicle action game from developer Ancient. The artwork depicts a stylized character against a brick wall backdrop. Vatva supports versatile multiplayer modes, allowing team battles with up to 6 players, and offering a vast selection of over 60 weapons for intense combat. Both games represent different genres arriving on the Sega Saturn. This page features a large advertisement for Victor JVC's Sega Saturn title, Vatva. The game is presented as an unprecedented entrance exam battle where 15 elite fighters clash for victory. The artwork showcases the diverse cast and various vehicle types available, including a buggy, 4-footed gun, road roller, rally car, hover, and battle tank. Players can freely customize aspects of their vehicles like the engine and armor and save their unique designs. Notably, the character designs are handled by Hitoshi Ariga, known for his work on Mega Man, while the acclaimed music duo Yuzo Koshiro and Motoaki Kawashima provide the background music. Screenshots illustrate the game's top-down battle perspective. A smaller section on the right promotes the Twin Operator RGVC2 accessory, allowing Sega Saturn owners to view the game's opening in clearer video CD format. The right side of the page shows a black and white image of a woman with Sega Saturn CDs and the text Konami de Mode, seemingly a separate feature or advertisement. This page features a showcase of Konami's Sega Saturn software lineup, including upcoming titles like Jikyu Oshibari Parodius and Henry Explorers, alongside a selection of games already on sale such as Policenauts, Snatcher, Gradius Deluxe Pack, and the popular Tokimeki Memorial Dating Simulation series, covering various genres from shooters and adventure to puzzles and sports. The right side of the page is a full-page advertisement for Bullfrog's Magic Carpet, promoting its release on the Sega Saturn in December 1996, and touting it as a bestseller arriving in Japan. This page features 2 distinct sections showcasing upcoming Sega Saturn titles. On the left, Set against a striking silhouette of the Taj Mahal, is the announcement of Legend of Ogre arriving on the Sega Saturn. This refers to the port of Ogre Battle, March of the Black Queen, bringing the classic tactical RPG to the console. Below that, a brief mention of the Sega Saturn's Digital Circus and Xmas Nights campaign highlights ongoing promotions and events. On the right side, the page presents a unique perspective on Panzer Dragoon Saga, the critically acclaimed RPG titled Now to Panacea. It poses a problem about the world protagonist Kellen has entered. It describes Panacea as a mysterious place where you create fields using panels. The page details 3 key interactions: exploring the map by placing panels to acquire items, using special panels to jump directly to the boss's location, and solving map puzzles by listening to the inhabitants. This description focuses on a specific exploration and puzzle mechanic within the game, rather than its traditional RPG combat, suggesting a fascinating, non-linear approach to traversing the world. The concluding remark, "There are no answers. Please enjoy freely," emphasizes the open-ended and exploratory nature of this element. This page showcases 2 exciting Sega Saturn titles. On the left, we have Panel Keisha Story, Kellen no Daibuken, a unique map-making RPG where you build your own adventure world panel by panel. This concept is a direct link to the panel-paneltia idea introduced on the previous page, revealing it as the core mechanic of this distinct game, not just an element within Panzer Dragoon Saga. The screenshot shows the top-down exploration view with player stats. It's announced for a February '97 release and mentions a campaign. On the right side, Virgin Interactive brings the intensity of professional ice hockey to the Sega Saturn with NHL Powerplay 96. Capturing the incredible speed of the sport, with puck shots reaching up to 193 km per hour. This is the official NHL game, featuring real players and teams. You can choose from 44 national teams and customize strategies and formations. The game boasts motion-captured player movements and a replay function allowing views from multiple angles. It supports up to 6 players via multiplayer adapters and is set for a December 13th release on both PlayStation and Sega Saturn. This page showcases 2 distinct Banpresto titles arriving on the Sega Saturn. On the left is Gekka no Kishi, a shogi game based on the popular manga series. It features detailed character illustrations and screenshots, displaying the shogi board gameplay. The game aims to recreate the manga's world and characters, with voice acting and multiple modes for players of all skill levels. This title was released on November 22, 1996. The right side features the Super Dimension Fortress Macross. Do you remember Love? A side-scrolling shooter based on the iconic anime movie. The page displays vibrant character art, including Lin Minmay, and highlights the intense shooting action with gameplay screenshots. This adaptation brings the legendary Macross universe and its famous diva to the Sega Saturn as a new, action-packed experience, scheduled for release in February 1997. This page features 2 upcoming Sega Saturn titles. On the left is Stakes Winner, a horse racing simulation game based on the Neo Geo CD original. The vibrant artwork shows caricature horses and jockeys in a heated race, contrasting with realistic gameplay screenshots. The game focuses on training and racing horses, including a breeding system, and even allows racing against friends' horses. Promotions for a race prediction contest and a special jacket giveaway are highlighted. The game was set for release in December 1996. The right side showcases Legend of the Galactic Heroes, a tactical simulation game. Based on the acclaimed anime and novel series, it features character art of the 2 main protagonists, Reinhard von Lohengram and Yang Wenli, alongside impressive spacecraft visuals. The text emphasizes the role of these 2 heroes in galactic history, and the strategic depth of the simulation gameplay. This adaptation brings the epic space opera to the Saturn, scheduled for release on December 6, 1996, priced at 5,800 yen. This page promotes a weekly event at Famimaga Land, where players can get hands-on time with upcoming games before they release. The event on November 16th featured demos of the latest Sega Saturn titles like Blood Factory, Panzer General, and Hardball, alongside new PlayStation and Nintendo 64 games. It also highlights benefits for members attending on Sundays, including extended play sessions and exclusive goods. The next issue preview teases features on major Saturn games, such as Fighters, Megamix, Enemy Zero, and Virtua Fighter. On the right side, an advert announces the resale of the Yaku Ken Special, an adult Sega Saturn title described as the definitive strip game featuring 12 women. It's rated 18+ and incorporates features like 3D sound. This page presents Ranking Street, a section where reader submissions and game review data are compiled to rank the current popular games. The main feature discusses the success of two major titles remade/ported to the Saturn: Lunar, Silver Star Story, and Ogre Battle. It highlights how Lunar, a remake of the Mega CD classic, achieved the top spot with impressive graphics and sound, while Ogre Battle, ported from the Super Famicom, maintains strong popularity due to its deep simulation RPG gameplay and strategic elements. The page also includes sales rankings for 2 separate weeks, in late October and early November. These tables list the top-selling Sega Saturn games, indicating their position, the game title, publisher, price, release date, and points. Notable games appearing high on the charts include the aforementioned Lunar, Silver Star Story, Langrisser 2 Wine, the original Sakura Wars, Street Fighter Alpha 2, and Master of Monsters. The rankings provide a snapshot of which Saturn titles were moving off the shelves during this period, reflecting player interest in both new releases and established favorites. The rankings are based on data collected from multiple retailers across Japan. This page presents the Ranking Street section, where readers submit their feedback and rankings for the latest Sega Saturn titles. Topping the reader poll this time is Eternal Melody, a dating simulation RPG renowned for its use of popular voice actors. The game earned high praise from readers, with a strong positive review score. Reviewers highlighted its emotional storyline, impressive visuals, especially the character artwork, and a deep system with engaging character interactions and events, though a few noted minor strategic imbalances in combat. Following Eternal Melody in the rankings are titles spanning genres like horse racing simulation, pachinko, adventure, and sports, indicating a broad range of reader preferences. This Ranking Street feature presents reader feedback on Sega Saturn games. Turfwind, a horse racing simulation, earned rank 2 for its realistic portrayal of the sport, though it might only appeal to racing fans. Heiwajima Pachinko Saoshingeki, a pachinko simulation compilation, secured rank 3, praised for its immersive experience, but its niche appeal was noted. At rank 4, Brain Dead 13, an interactive movie game, was commended for its gameplay but criticized for its dated visuals and difficulty. Lucas's Great Adventure on the Southern Island, where there was a pig, an adventure game with puzzle and action elements, landed at rank 5, with praise for its puzzles, but criticism for its action sequences. The page highlights diverse reader opinions across various genres, offering insights into the strengths and weaknesses of the reviewed titles. The next page continues the fan rankings, covering games in positions 6 through 8. At rank 6 is the celebrity mahjong title, the Warem de Pont, which readers praised for its realistic feel and inclusion of popular personalities, despite some quirks. Actua Soccer comes in at rank 7, with feedback noting its attempt at realism, but mixed reactions on graphics, sound, and gameplay mechanics. Rank 8 features another mahjong game, Mahjong Taikai 2 Special, appreciated for its core mahjong engine and challenging AI opponents. The page also includes a special review section focusing on Virtua Fighter and Darkstalkers, the Night Warriors. Readers discuss the quality of these arcade ports to the Saturn, comparing them to the original versions. They comment on the polygon rendering in Virtua Fighter and the character designs and fluid animation in Darkstalkers. The review delves into gameplay feel and differences between the arcade and Saturn versions. There's also a broader look at the landscape of 2D and 3D fighting games on the Saturn at the time. Finally, the page includes a call for readers to submit their own game reviews for a chance to win prizes, and lists the games that will be featured in the next issue's reader ranking. This page features a comprehensive look at reader opinions and rankings. The top left presents a popularity and port hope ranking, highlighting anticipated titles like Shin Megami Tensei, Virtua Fighter 2, and Grandia, showing what games were creating buzz or desired for the platform. Below that, the ranking best 30 lists titles from 15 to 30, featuring a diverse mix including RPGs like Shining the Holy Ark and adventure games like Jake Hunter. The main real-time game ranking dominates the center and right, reflecting current player sentiment. The accompanying text notes that while new releases beyond Lunar, Eternal Blue have been slow, Sakura Wars continues its strong performance at the top. This large ranking table, based on reader votes, shows the current popularity of dozens of games on the system, with established hits maintaining high positions. At the bottom left, the Port Hope ranking Best 10 lists games readers most want to see ported to the Saturn. This includes major titles from other platforms like Resident Evil, Final Fantasy V2, and Dragon Quest V, demonstrating a strong desire for popular console and arcade experiences. Finally, a special feature section explores the potential for porting specific arcade games, discussing reader requests and developer perspectives on bringing these titles to the Saturn. This page continues the reader rankings from the previous spread under the Ranking Street heading, showing the current standing of numerous games based on player votes. The main feature section is a game research lab, offering tips and strategies to help players improve. The focus is on 4 specific titles: Digital Pinball, Necronomicon, Feng Shui Sensei, Pup Breeder, and Brain Dead 13. The primary article dives deep into Digital Pinball, Necronomicon, guiding players on how to achieve sky-high scores, specifically aiming for 10 billion points. It covers essential techniques applicable to the game's 3 tables, emphasizing the importance of strategic accumulation of points, and mastering specific skills like holding the ball with the flipper, shown in a screenshot, and understanding the lucrative Super Round bonus feature, also shown with an impressive score screenshot. The article highlights that aiming for high scores requires knowledge of both basic flipper control and the specific rules and features of each table. At the bottom, the ranking report features an article discussing the high satisfaction levels reported by players of the new romance simulation game, Eternal. Based on reader votes and comments, the game is praised, especially for its appealing characters and engaging content, suggesting it resonates well with its target audience. This page continues the deep dive into high scores for Digital Pinball, Necronomicon, offering strategies for the Arkham, Cult of the Bloody Tongue, and Dreamlands tables. For Arkham, the focus is on mastering the right flipper hold and hitting the central lamp. The Cult of the Bloody Tongue section details using the left flipper for the jungle bus lane and timing shots on the lunar engine ramp for the soul hole. The Dreamlands guide highlights the difficulty of its upper field, but points towards the Super Round and 7-ball multi-ball as major score opportunities, with specific tactics for the Silver Gate and Moonbeast areas. Additionally, this page provides an essential strategy guide for Feng Shui Sensei. The article notes the game's complexity due to the need to understand Feng Shui principles. It breaks down key concepts for players, including moving buildings located on land with bad ki, paying close attention to the shape and orientation of buildings, and constructing buildings appropriate for nearby roads. A significant portion explains the 5 elements theory: wood, fire, earth, metal, water, and their interrelationships, crucial for effective play. The page also includes comprehensive lists detailing the various jutsu, techniques or spells, and items available, outlining their effects and strategic uses within the game, such as moving or rotating buildings, gaining aerial views, and influencing the flow of ki. This page provides an in-depth strategy guide for Papuakun no Oikaki puzzle, focusing on the Papu breeder aspects and early game progression. The left side maps out the first 5 stages, detailing building placements and using symbols to represent elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, water, and building types like residences, shops, and parks, essential for navigating the game's unique mechanics. It highlights the layout of Stage 1, T-shaped street, through Stage 5, Temptation Street, offering minimum clear paths. The right side delves into becoming the goddess's chief, explaining the clear account scoring system, where performance in episodes yields points. It covers the differences in handling Papu and his abilities, along with strategies for all 27 episodes. Key advice includes watching Papu's reactions and status. It lists the effects of the different goddesses and their miracles, such as boosting stamina or returning time. The page also provides one-point advice for clearing stages and an episode-by-episode guide on how to tackle specific challenges. Finally, it compares the status and abilities of Papu in his various forms like Monstermon and Manju, crucial for mastering the game. This page features a dual-focused layout, offering strategy tips for one game on the left and a feature on a popular anime series on the right. On the left, we have a strategy guide for the game Brain Dead 13. It provides essential information for navigating the game's traps and puzzles. The guide includes a breakdown of the game's simple 5-command control scheme, explanations on how to deal with various traps, a shortest route map for a section of the maze, and a comprehensive table listing specific commands needed at different locations within the mansion. The right side is dedicated to a recurring feature on the acclaimed anime series, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, titled Legend of the Galactic Heroes File. This entry appears to be the 6th installment, discussing the history of the OVA series, its production, and introducing key characters. It highlights the ongoing popularity and international reach of the series. The page includes various character illustrations, including a group portrait labeled Yang Family. It serves as a guide for both longtime fans and newcomers interested in the sprawling space opera. This page provides an update on the development and gameplay of Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 2-1, Bonds of the Battlefield for the Sega Saturn, highlighting the final episode, and combat scenarios. This page dives deep into Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 2-1, Bonds of the Battlefield, focusing on the game's system and progression as Volume 2 production wraps up. The report details the final stages of the game, specifically Episode 4, titled Zion's Attack Plan, which involves the return of the exam system-equipped Blue Destiny unit, one piloted by Yukijima. Gameplay screenshots show the immersive cockpit view and combat against various mobile suits. The article also touches on data-driven ranking changes based on performance, showing how mission completion scores affect player standing, with high ranks like A being achievable. The right side explores specific combat situations, illustrating the struggle against Zion forces, the enhanced abilities of the DOM mobile suit, its powerful attacks against friendly GMS, and intense moments where Yunchu's unit faces heavy assault. It gives a sense of the challenging battles players will face in the game. This page features updates on 2 distinct Sega Saturn titles. On the left, the coverage of Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 2, Successors of the Blue continues, detailing key improvements implemented based on feedback from the first volume. Players can now expect command screens featuring character portraits, a significantly enhanced map display that is always visible and zoomable, and expanded combat options including strategic backdashes and various missile types. A major addition is support for twin-stick controls, aiming to provide a more intuitive and realistic mobile suit piloting experience. The right side shifts focus to the upcoming horror title, Enemy Zero. This section serves as a pre-release report, highlighting the game's nearing master-up status and showcasing its impressive visual fidelity, which the report notes is remarkable for the Saturn hardware. Details are provided on the game's structure across multiple discs, with a specific mention of the wireframe training mode. Weapon enthusiasts will appreciate the reveal of multiple new gun types, offering variety in combat compared to previous games. This page provides system updates for Gundam Side Story 2 Volume 2, and previews the impending release of Enemy Zero. This page continues the look at Enemy Zero, diving deeper into its mechanics and setting. On the left, we explore the training mode found on the first disc. This mode, while appearing simple, is designed to prepare players for the main game by having them practice against enemies represented by red spheres in a wireframe environment. The screens show the progression from starting the training to clearing a level with an OK message. It emphasizes that touching an enemy isn't fatal here, allowing for practice. Various weapon models are also showcased, including a compact submachine gun and a distinctive pistol with VexCorp branding. The right side gives us a glimpse into the personal quarters of the 4 crew members aboard the ship, highlighting the detailed CG visuals used for these environments. Specifically, Ronnie's room is featured, showing a lived-in space. The section also introduces 2 crucial in-game items: the voice recorder, used for saving progress and potentially playing back audio logs, and the VPS, an enemy sensor that alerts the player to enemy locations via audio cues heard directly in the ear. A network computer terminal is also shown within the room, suggesting interactive elements within the environments. The next page continues the Enemy Zero coverage briefly on the left, showing the rooms of characters George, David, and Kimberly, giving a glimpse into their environments aboard the ship. However, the main event here is Fire Pro Wrestling S 6-Men Scramble. The page is hyped about the arrival of this legendary wrestling series on the Saturn, with the biggest highlight being the realization of the long-desired 6-man tag match, a feature previously impossible on other consoles. Screenshots showcase the intense action in the ring, including the full 6-man spectacle. The text emphasizes that this latest entry is a major step for the series, incorporating numerous new mechanics and promising an in-depth look at what makes this version the best yet, packed with features fans have been clamoring for. It's clear the magazine believes this is a must-have for wrestling game aficionados. The next page delves deeper into the features of Fire Pro Wrestling S. 6 Men's Scramble. It highlights the game's massive roster, boasting 136 wrestlers, each with an impressive 50 distinct moves. The introduction of dangerous match types like death matches and gruesome matches is also a major focus, promising intense, brutal encounters with elements like barbed wire and octagon rings. The page elaborates on the expanded combat system, detailing the variety of techniques available and how the game captures the excitement of different wrestling styles. Finally, it showcases several of the in-game wrestling organizations, such as View Japan, Shinsei IW, and All of Japan, introducing key wrestlers and their affiliations, emphasizing the diverse world of pro wrestling represented in the game. The content clearly conveys the depth and variety this Fire Pro entry brings to the Sega Saturn. This page continues the coverage of Fire Pro Wrestling S. 6 Men's Scramble from the previous entry, highlighting new features. It introduces the Chowtic 6-man tag match format, where 3 wrestlers per team compete simultaneously, offering strategic depth beyond standard tags. A new breathing system adds realism by impacting wrestler stamina and recovery during intense bouts, potentially leading to unexpected comebacks. The edit mode is significantly expanded, allowing for incredibly detailed customization of wrestler appearance, stats, and moves, truly enabling players to create their ideal fighter. The page also spotlights various wrestling organizations featured in the game, including the realistic UWH Intel, the veteran Kakinahara Gumi, the intense Gongus, the stylish High Class, the high-flying 3A, and generic martial artists, showcasing the game's diverse roster and styles. The other major feature is the game Ebarouge, presented as a love story and simulation set in a magic school. Players take on the role of Knack, a young student enrolled to become a powerful mage. The gameplay revolves around navigating school life, attending classes and training to improve skills, participating in various school events, and building relationships with the female students. The narrative covers several years, detailing Knack's growth both magically and personally within the fantasy world of Warland. The page features appealing anime-style artwork and screenshots depicting school scenes, giving a glimpse into this magical school simulation experience. This page features continued coverage of the magic school simulation game Ebarouge, focusing on the dating simulation and character development aspects. It introduces several key female students the protagonist, Knack, can form relationships with, including Morizotsu, Morien, Rindel, and Castel, showcasing their distinct personalities and looks through detailed character portraits. The gameplay involves guiding Knack through school life, improving his skills, and building connections with these potential love interests through interactions and dates, as hinted by the screenshots showing school scenes and excursions. The main focus, however, is a detailed report on the highly anticipated mech action title, Assault Suit Lanos 2. Breaking a long silence, this report highlights the game's core innovation, the ability to select and change your assault suit before each mission, a major evolution from the first game. The page features impressive screenshots of the mechs in action, showcasing the variety of suits available as players progress. It also briefly touches on the different types of assault suits, explaining how they vary in stats like attack and defense, catering to different playstyles and skill levels from beginners to experts. This page features information on 2 distinct game experiences. First, it continues coverage of the mech action game, Assault Suit Lanos 2, focusing on the challenging second stage known as the Big Wall, a natural fortress defended by powerful large-scale laser weapons and enemy assault suits. The page also highlights the game's weapon system, noting that the variety and utility of weapons expand as players gain experience and progress, allowing for diverse combat approaches. The second major section introduces the early stages of Mega Man X4. It previews the first 4 Robot Master stages players can tackle: Tengu Man's Airborne Sky Stage, Grenade Man's Trap-Filled Military Base, Frost Man's Icy Terrain, and Clown Man's Whimsical but Treacherous Amusement Park, providing a glimpse into the diverse environments and boss encounters awaiting players in this new installment. This page dives into the world of Kyan Kyan Bunny Premieres 2, revealing some new CG illustrations from this adventure game, known for its suggestive content. The focus here is on showcasing bashful poses and alluring moments from the game's heroines, emphasizing that even with relatively low exposure, the scenes are designed to hit the mark and stimulate the imagination. The page features various CGs depicting several characters in different settings and states of undress, highlighting the diverse cast of girls the player will encounter. Commentary accompanies each image, drawing attention to specific details like expressions, clothing, and the overall atmosphere of the scene. Beyond the new artwork, The page also details a unique bonus included with the game, a daily calendar CD featuring 365 days worth of voice-acted conversations. This includes interactions with popular recurring characters like Swati and Sawati, offering fans daily audio content to enjoy. The game is listed as an adventure title recommended for players aged 18 and older, confirming its mature theme. This page features the simulation game Roommate Ryoko Inoue, where players get to experience living with a high school girl. The game's unique system utilizes the Sega Saturn's internal clock to synchronize game time with real time, allowing for daily, realistic communication. You'll interact with Ryoko Inoue, who moves in because her father was transferred abroad. Her profile is included, noting her birth date, school year, interests like reading and music, and even blood type and zodiac sign. The game focuses on conversations, with examples showing how Ryoko reacts to different dialogue choices throughout a typical day, from morning greetings at 7 a.m. to chatting at night at 10 p.m. The article highlights her subtle facial expressions that convey her feelings, making the interactions feel more human. It's interesting to note that despite the title's premise, the game is rated for all ages. The voice actress for Ryoko was reportedly chosen through an audition. The game aims to let players deepen their understanding of Ryoko over a simulated 3-month period. This page showcases sentimental graffiti, focusing on the game's 12 heroines depicted in winter-themed illustrations. The artwork highlights characters like Rurika Yamamoto from Nagoya and Asuka Hoshino from Yokohama in festive or cold-weather settings, alongside others from various Japanese cities such as Hokuto Sawatari from Sapporo and Natsume Mori from Osaka. Each illustration is accompanied by a brief description of the character's personality or a short quote related to the winter theme, emphasizing the game's focus on nostalgic, sentimental memories tied to different locations. The page presents these new illustrations to immerse players in the warm, Christmassy atmosphere and the winter stories of the heroines. A small table provides basic game information like genre, simulation, and target age, all ages. Additionally, a separate section mentions Voyager Volume 3, detailing an opportunity for male voice actors to practice their skills related to a character audition, suggesting ongoing development or related media for the title. This page features the highly anticipated dating simulation game, Dokusei 2, Classmates 2. The big news highlighted here is a double package deal for the Saturn release, which includes not only Dokusei 2, but also a remake of its predecessor, Sotsugyosei, Graduates. We see vibrant character art for both games, including key heroines from Dokusei 2 and the protagonist and heroine from Sotsugyosei, Mikage Yanagihara, along with a classic screenshot showing the game's interface and setting. The article delves into Dokusei 2, an adventure game known for its engaging story and multitude of heroines. It confirms the game's genre and platform, noting its adult rating. The accompanying table provides basic release information, though dates are listed as TBD at the time of writing. The most exciting part for fans is the inclusion of the Sotsugyosei remake. This was originally a limited release PC title that became legendary. The Saturn version promises an enhanced experience, with updated visuals and potentially expanded scenarios. The article teases the plot of Sotsugyosei, focusing on the romantic drama involving characters like Ryunosuke, Mikage, and Shikaburo, set in the same location as Dokusei 2 during the summer vacation. The reviewer is clearly excited about this bundling, emphasizing the value of getting 2 classic games in one package on the Saturn. The Saturn version specifically boasts increased scenario volume and new content. This page delves into the details of the Sega Saturn release of Dokusei 2, specifically focusing on the adult scenes and new content. The big question here is whether the Saturn version retains the explicit nature of the PC original. While the article shows illustrations of characters in suggestive situations, it explains that the Saturn version has been trimmed, notably hiding breasts and buttocks, to meet the console's rating requirements. Despite the censorship, the text suggests the graphics are still quite detailed and engaging, teasing that more intense graphics than if, likely referring to a previous game, might be possible. Beyond the adult content, the page highlights exciting new events. A significant addition is the ability to go on a hot springs trip by meeting certain conditions in the game. This trip introduces new characters, including a cute girl and Nagashima Sachiko, a sophisticated widow who runs the inn. The page also showcases several other heroines and key characters through illustrations depicting unique event scenes. These include Minamikawa Yuko, a tough girl who loves motorcycles, Yasuda Megumi, an innocent kindergarten nanny, Katumika, a quiet girl who enjoys flowers, Nonomura Misato, a confident travel agent, and Sakura Moto Sakura, a delicate girl often absent from school due to illness. Each illustration is paired with a brief description hinting at their personality and role in the game, emphasizing the variety of relationships and stories available in Dokusei 2. This page dives into Far East of Eden, the Fourth Apocalypse. The fourth main entry in the popular Japanese RPG series, part of the RPG Big 5 collection. The focus here is on introducing the game's opening sequence and basic gameplay systems. The article highlights the game's anime-style introduction, detailing a significant event that happened 6 years prior in New Orleans, where the protagonist, Raiden, was involved in a dreamlike incident involving monsters. Screenshots from this animated opening are shown, depicting dramatic scenes and characters. Below the intro sequence summary, the page presents a map of New Orleans, seemingly showing the town where Raiden resides. There's also a look at the game's command system, explaining how players navigate menus and execute actions in both exploration and battle modes. Basic battle commands like attack, magic, and skill are mentioned. The section also includes screenshots of the in-game menus and a battle scene, featuring the protagonist facing off against a skeletal enemy. Finally, the page touches upon how the player's party moves through the environment, noting that characters follow the leader with a natural, somewhat staggered formation rather than a rigid line. This detail is accompanied by screenshots illustrating the party's movement on the map. Overall, the page serves as an initial introduction, setting the stage with the game's opening narrative hook and giving a glimpse into its core mechanics. This page continues the walkthrough for Far East of Eden, the Fourth Apocalypse, moving the action from New Orleans to the icy landscapes of Alaska. The narrative picks up 6 years after the opening events, focusing on the protagonist Raiden awakening in Anchorage. The article details the initial steps in Alaska, starting in the village of Anchorage. It explains how Raiden, along with friends Red Bear and Starlight, must defeat the blizzard creature. The page features a large map of Alaska, showing key locations like Anchorage, Fairbanks, McKinley Mountain, and the Ice Palace. The walkthrough highlights meeting the companion Starlight in Nome Village, followed by the journey to Fairbanks Cave to break the seal of the legendary buffalo spirit, Denali. Denali then becomes a mount, allowing access to the challenging Ice Palace at the northernmost point of Alaska. Inside the palace, players face the formidable Blizzard of the 12 Apostles, a boss battle requiring strategic use of items due to the enemy's power. Screenshots show the Anchorage Village meeting Starlight, the Fairbanks Cave with the Buffalo Spirit, the Ice Palace exterior and interior, and the epic boss fight against the Blizzard. Finally, the page briefly touches on the journey to Montana after the events in Alaska, mentioning encounters with characters like Mr. Ashimoto. A section also introduces a mysterious fortune-teller character, who provides cryptic predictions for a fee. This page delves into the world of Air's adventure, revealing its battle system and introducing some of its unique monster designs. The monster art, attributed to Mr. Nagano, showcases creatures with a distinct aesthetic unlike typical fantasy monsters, including the likes of a homunculus, Iron King, Dragon, Metal Devil, and a spectral phantom. The article also touches on the game's map movement, describing it as using a mastery trail system, where players appear to ride a light sail across the map. The core focus shifts to the battle system, highlighted as being simple and streamlined to allow players to focus on the story. Despite being turn-based, battles are presented with a screen layout reminiscent of fighting games. Players can check character statuses in camp mode. Combat flow involves Henry and Colin's actions determined by button inputs, with standard attacks and special moves available. Magic is a key element, powered by combining Oop with the strength of fairies like Muffin, Kettle, and Pack. There are 3 systems of magic: Force, Attack; Aura, Recovery; and Sonic, Support, selected via specific buttons during battle. The power of magic grows with Colin's level and fairy strength. Screenshots illustrate the battle UI, character actions, magic effects, and map travel. This page introduces the town that serves as the base of operations for Silk and her party in Dragon Master Silk. Located directly above the dungeon, this town is where adventurers rest and prepare. Key facilities include the inn, vital for recovering HP and MP after battles. The shops, including the weapon shop and general store, are crucial for acquiring gear and items. A unique aspect mentioned is that items you sell to a shop can then appear in their stock for purchase by others. The general store focuses on recovery and support items, while the weapon shop handles arms and armor, noting that new stock frequently arrives, but items can also sell out. The tavern offers a distinct experience. Drinks aren't just for consumption, as some possess unusual effects when applied to the body. Screenshots show the various shop and tavern interfaces, as well as the town view, and even a cross-section illustrating its position relative to the dungeon. Finally, two of the game's mid-boss characters, Narrated and Kizarin, are highlighted. They are described as individuals with intense personalities, obsessed with changing appearances, and deeply narcissistic. This page provides an in-depth look at Shining the Holy Ark, based on a test play of a sample room. It delves into the game's world, introduces the main characters, and highlights the command system and battle mechanics. Screenshots showcase the game's 3D environments, ranging from dungeons and forests to dialogue scenes and turn-based combat encounters. The feature introduces the protagonists, including Arthur, Melody, and Forte, hinting at a mysterious shadow, influencing events and focusing on the antagonist Lordy. It then breaks down the game's command system, covering standard actions like attacking, using magic or items, and running from battle. More unique aspects include the strategy command for automating party actions, and distinct skill and extreme parameters that influence combat outcomes. The useful switch command, allowing players to swap party members mid-battle, is discussed, particularly its strategic value against tough enemies like bosses. The look command is also noted as having potentially significant implications. Overall, the page serves as a comprehensive introduction to the gameplay flow and strategic depth of this major RPG title. This page dives deep into the classic RPG tactics ogre. It showcases some interesting gameplay elements, like exploring Apollyon's mansion, filled with interactive objects and hidden passages, and facing off against creatures like the imposing Garm. The page also highlights the visually impressive magic effects, detailing how different elemental spells look and impact gameplay, from water damage to fiery explosions and even powerful attack buffs. But the real core of this feature is the pivotal narrative choice presented in Chapter 2. The page details the critical decision Denham faces from Lancelot Hamilton. Accept his proposal to slaughter the townspeople and frame Ganon, leading down the law route, or refuse, setting you on the chaos route. Screenshots show the heated conversation between Denham, Vice, and Lancelot, emphasizing the weight of this choice, which dramatically alters the story and characters encountered. The feature stresses how the game's compelling narrative branches significantly based on the player's actions, making every decision count. This page details the branching story of Tactics Ogre, Chapter 2, following either the law or chaos route based on a crucial decision. This page expertly dissects the two dramatically different paths available in Tactics Ogre's second chapter, stemming from the player's pivotal choice at Balmamusa. The top section outlines the law route, where Denham accepts Lancelot's controversial plan. This leads to Denham's exile to Galgastan, his service under the increasingly suspect Lonway, and his eventual pursuit of Katua, culminating in a tense meeting with Leonor at Almorica Castle, where a shocking proposal is made. The bottom section details the chaos route, the consequence of Denham's refusal. Here, Denham becomes a wanted man, navigating the world as a fugitive. This path highlights his unexpected reunion with Vice at Tynemouth Hill, the struggles of the Valerian Liberation Front, including the rescue of Olivia from pirates, and the frantic race to save Katua, leading to a climactic battle at Almorica Castle. The magazine showcases key battles and character dialogues for both routes, effectively illustrating how this single decision fundamentally alters alliances, characters, and the events that unfold, making the game feel vastly different depending on the player's moral alignment. This page continues the deep dive into Tactics Ogre, focusing on accessing the game's hidden content essential for unlocking the true ending. It details how to acquire the 12 emblems, which are symbolic of the true hero, and are awarded upon meeting specific conditions, often by revisiting locations after key story events. Furthermore, the page highlights hidden stages, referred to as Chaos Gates. These 7 inaccessible locations, such as Castora Canyon and Muspelm, can only be entered if the player possesses the Holy Sword Brynhildr, and are crucial for the narrative path to the true conclusion. There's also a section on Deneb's room, revealing how to recruit the powerful Dragoon character Deneb, and obtain items like the Onyx, often involving visiting a specific, strange house. The page also details how to acquire various important items, specifically the 12 emblems like Black Agate, Yellow Beryl, Red Amber, and others, by visiting specific locations marked on the map, or fulfilling certain criteria after clearing stages. This page delves into the classic RPG adventure of Lunar Silver Star Story, guiding players through the journey from the Red Dragon Cave to the encounter with the Blue Dragon. It provides a narrative walkthrough of this section of the game, highlighting key events and locations like the village of Rito and the Blue Dragon's Shrine. The page also features comprehensive item data, crucial for any adventurer. It lists various weapons, armor, accessories, and consumable items available in this part of the game, noting which characters can equip them and their stats. While not listing every single item, it covers essential gear you'll find to aid Alex and his companions. There's also a section on special event items related to the story's progression, including items proving Alex's growth as a Dragon Master candidate. The screenshots showcase gameplay scenes from dungeons and conversations, giving a visual feel for this segment of the quest. This page provides a comprehensive guide to locating hidden items within Langrisser 2I across scenarios 2 through 15. Finding these secret treasures is presented as crucial for gaining a significant advantage from the early stages of the game. The guide goes through each scenario, explaining precisely where to find the hidden item and detailing its effects, such as permanently boosting commander or unit stats like attack, defense, intelligence, and HP. Some items even grant new magic abilities or special effects, like increased critical hit chance or soldier capacity. Screenshots are included for each scenario, clearly indicating the item's location on the map. Key finds mentioned include stat-boosting gear like the Devil's Axe and Sage's Amulet, strategic items like Jarl's Horn to empower units, and even obtaining the character Tiaris in one scenario. This guide is essential for players looking to maximize their power and strategic options throughout the game. This page kicks off a new recurring feature focused on Konami's dating simulation classic, Tokimeki Memorial, highlighting the latest news and information about the game and its related media. The first installment prominently features Shiori Fujisaki, one of the main heroines, announcing her upcoming CD debut on December 5th. The page includes details on her official fan club, Shiori Mate, and a report on a special live event featuring voice actors from the game. Also featured is the Conehead Club, a reader interaction column where fans share thoughts and opinions after playing games on their Saturn consoles. Readers discuss various aspects of gaming, such as loading times, and the enjoyment of writing in after playing. The page is rounded out with brief news updates related to Tokimeki Memorial and a preview of the next issue. There are also some fun manga panels depicting humorous scenarios related to gaming, specifically mentioning Virtua Fighter. This page features several fan-focused sections. The illustration gallery showcases reader-submitted artwork, covering various games and themes. The Tokimeki Fan Club continues, sharing reader opinions on the dating sim and featuring fan art, including a character named Yumemi Bomb. The Conehead Club presents more reader input, with fans discussing game character voices and submitting illustrations, some related to Tokimeki Memorial. A section titled, My Family's Game Console Situation, details a reader's practical method for organizing game consoles and media using homemade shelving. The Cone Kids Network board contains reader messages, including a discussion potentially touching on Square's games like Ogre Battle or Tactics and fan reactions. The Dragon Force Fan Club section features reader anticipation for Dragon Force 2, comments on the game's strategy and characters, and includes fan-submitted illustrations. Finally, the Lunar Magic Academy section introduces a new corner dedicated to Lunar Silver Star Story, filled with fan art and letters expressing enthusiasm for the game and its characters, including some from Lunar 2 Eternal Blue. This page is a vibrant collection of fan-submitted content. The Kids Hope section shares reader experiences, including discussions around game peripherals like the Virtua Gun, and impressions of games such as Policenauts. The Satafan Mail Q&A features the editorial team responding to fan questions covering a range of topics, from favorite games like Virtua Fighter to general gaming queries. Fan artwork is prominently displayed across multiple sections. The Sega AM Freak and Conehead Club showcase illustrations inspired by Sega AM Division titles like Virtua Fighter and Fighting Vipers, featuring popular characters such as Pei-chan and Honey. Meanwhile, the Sakura Gallery and Sakura Wars My Best Heroine sections are dedicated entirely to fan art from the highly popular Sakura Wars, highlighting readers' favorite characters and moments from the game. A fan also gives their personal review of Sakura Wars, praising its unique blend of simulation and adventure gameplay. The results of the 4th Satafan cover prediction contest are announced, listing the winning readers who correctly guessed the artwork for a previous issue. Finally, the submission guidelines section outlines the various categories and rules for readers wishing to send in their own letters, illustrations, manga, or Q&A submissions. This page is a dynamic news dynamite spread, packed with reports and event announcements from the gaming and related industries. Featured events include an exhibition showcasing detailed garage kits of the mechs from Virtualon, Cyber Troopers in Tokyo, and a Christmas live event by the group Val Project, linked to their game My Dream on Air Gamate Naku. There's also a report on an event at Sega attended by actress Natsuki Akimoto and the character Hakaider from the movie Artificial Human Hakaider, Last Judgment. Reports cover the recording session for a Virtualon CD drama, featuring the producer and voice actors, and the official decision to hold the second Tokyo Game Show in spring 1997 at Tokyo Big Sight. Another report details a visit by Major League Baseball players, including Barry Bonds and Alex Rodriguez, related to the game's 3D baseball ball. The major topics highlight a campaign for the adventure game Jake Hunter Detective Story, unfinished report involving street promotions, and a game-based puzzle contest. Also covered is the introduction of Sank's Neo Print Machine, a photo booth offering numerous customization options for prints. Finally, there's a mention of a digital picture book contest for the title Lulu, and a Christmas cake kit based on the game Yoru ga Kuru. The page concludes with lists of contest winners. This page kicks off with some exciting promotions and a deep dive into the Saturn library. First up, there's a giveaway for a trial version demo CD of the car action game Battle Volta, with 1,000 lucky winners getting a chance to try it out. The News Dynamite Presents section features several other cool giveaways. 10 winners can snag a Babble doll from Haunted Casino. 5 winners get the third volume of the multimedia Creedrum magazine Digital GIPS. 3 winners can grab a t-shirt for the racing game Street Racer Extra. And 3 more winners will receive the strategy game software Master of Monsters 2. For those who like to broaden their horizons, the magazine recommends Osamu Han's Osamoto, a book that delves into the life and thoughts of Osamu Han, connected to gaming and culture. On the music front, they highlight 2 soundtracks, the intense tracks from X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and the beats from Power to the Techno Groove. Finally, the page presents a massive Sega Saturn database, meticulously cataloging all software, hardware, and peripherals, released up to November 8, 1996. This comprehensive list includes 397 titles, broken down by genre like fighting action, and role-playing, providing details such as publisher, release date, price, and compatibility information for each game. This page continues the extensive Sega Saturn database, offering gamers a comprehensive look at the library, available up to November 8, 1996. Following the initial fighting and action genres, this section delves into simulation, adventure, shooting, sports, race, and puzzle titles. The database meticulously lists games within each category, providing essential information such as publisher, release date, price, and compatibility details, allowing players to easily navigate the diverse offerings on the platform. It's a fantastic resource for tracking releases and understanding the breadth of genres the Saturn covered, from tactical simulations to classic puzzle games. This page continues the extensive Saturn database, shifting focus from specific genres to cover education/database and a broad other category of software. These sections list various titles, providing essential details like publisher and release information, offering players a comprehensive overview of the diverse range of games available on the platform outside the main action and fighting hits. Moving on, the page dives into the hardware and peripherals available for the Saturn. It details the different models of the console itself. Then, it covers a wide array of control options, listing official and third-party control pads, including multi-controllers for group play. Arcade stick enthusiasts will appreciate the list of available joysticks, providing that authentic feel. The database also includes other input devices like the Saturn mouse, racing controllers, and even a keyboard, highlighting the versatility of the system. Finally, it lists other significant peripherals, such as the backup cartridge for saving game data, the movie card for video playback, the floppy disk drive, and communication devices like the modem, showcasing the full ecosystem of the Sega Saturn. This page is a reader survey designed to gather feedback and give back to the fans. It features a detailed questionnaire asking readers about their demographics, gaming habits, preferred magazines and hardware, satisfaction with the current issue's content, and what they want to see more of. It's a direct way for the magazine to understand its audience and tailor future content. As a thank you for participating, they are offering some cool presents, The top prizes, given to 5 winners each, include copies of anticipated Saturn titles like Kaiho Sochi, likely a tentative name for an upcoming release, Fire Pro Wrestling S6 Men's Scramble, Rockman X3, Mega Man X3, Air's Adventure, Shining the Holy Ark, and Gekka no Kishi, likely a tentative name. Additionally, 70 winners will receive a Jinga Iu Densetsu, Legend of Galactic Heroes, telephone card, a classic collectible. The page also includes important instructions on how to fill out the survey postcard correctly for computer processing and provides example entries. Finally, it lists the tables of contents for the issue, detailing the articles, Table 1, other gaming magazines, Table 2, various gaming hardware platforms, Table 3, and an extensive list of Sega Saturn software titles mentioned or reviewed in this issue, Table 4. This list covers a huge range of Saturn games, from action and RPGs to simulation and strategy titles, showcasing the breadth of the platform's library at the time. This page features the 10th entry of the Sega CS Development Room Diary column, which has been refreshed to provide more information. One part discusses developers meeting famous individuals, like the voice actors from Neon Genesis Evangelion, during game production. Another segment provides behind-the-scenes info on hidden tricks in Panzer Dragoon Saga, mentioning hidden content and a character. There's also a small note about a giveaway for a Sakura Wars poster from a previous event. The main feature is an interview with the development director for the upcoming simulation game, Classic Road. This horse racing simulator allows players to raise and race horses through Big One races. The Saturn version includes various battle modes and a scenario mode where you can interact with famous horses from the past decade of real racing history. The page shows screenshots of the game's interface and races, highlighting its simulation features and data presentation. Developed by Victor Interactive Software, the game was targeting a February 1997 release and was around 70% complete. The next page is a reader response form for the Saturn Fan Magazine, specifically for Issue No. 24's Reader Present Contest. The form is designed as a postcard, with spaces for readers to provide their personal details, including address, name, age, and gender, along with their preferred present number from a list likely featured elsewhere in the magazine. It also includes sections to rank multiple items, possibly games or prizes. A notable section is the Game Score table, where readers are encouraged to submit their results or achievements in specific Saturn titles, including the platformer Earthworm Jim 2, the shooter Sexy Parodius, the tactical RPG Legend of Ogre Battle, the simulation game Pop Breeder, the adventure title Lulu, the fighting game Samurai Showdown IV, and the RPG Blazing Heroes. This suggests the contest might involve showcasing reader skills in these games. This page delves into the intricacies of the Sega Saturn game Classic Road, a comprehensive horse racing simulation. It outlines the core gameplay loop, from acquiring horses through breeding or purchase, managing their training and condition, and finally competing in races. The game highlights its visually advanced polygonal race scenes, praising their realism and fluid animation compared to previous titles. A major section is dedicated to the game's central bloodline theory, emphasizing the importance of pedigree and generational breeding in producing winning horses, making it a crucial strategic element. The spread also includes an interview with development director Koji Onowita, where he discusses the game's development status, graphical advancements, and the foundational role of the Bloodline system. Screenshots showcase the game's menus, detailed training options, horse statistics, and the dynamic racing visuals. It's presented as a simulation designed for depth and realism, focusing heavily on the strategic aspects of horse management and breeding. This page is dedicated to the revolutionary action-adventure game Tomb Raider. It introduces the game's core premise, exploring massive ancient ruins and unraveling a compelling story. The article highlights the game's realistic portrayal of 4 distinct ancient civilizations in Jaka, Greek, Roman, and Egyptian, brought to life through detailed polygonal graphics. The page also dives into the game's characters, focusing on the protagonist, the intrepid archaeologist Lara Croft, detailing her background and skills. Other key figures, like the villainous businesswoman Jacqueline Natla and her henchmen, Larson and Pierre Dupont, are also introduced, setting up the conflict. Several early stages within the Inca ruins are showcased, including the initial caves, the ancient city of Vilcabamba, the dangerous lost valley filled with dinosaurs, and the final area, the tomb of Qualopec, teasing the exploration, puzzles, and combat encounters awaiting players. The article emphasizes the game's free exploration and dynamic camera system, promising a thrilling adventure. This page focuses on the sexy suspense adventure game, Even Burst Error. It highlights the game's origins as a PC title and its port to the Sega Saturn. While the original PC version was known for its adult content, the article explains that the Saturn version includes corrections, but still retains service cuts for the fans. The page emphasizes the game's strong story and mystery elements, moving beyond just explicit scenes to focus on the core plot. The Saturn port boasts significantly enhanced production values, particularly in the animation sequences, which are integrated into key moments of the game to heighten the experience. Screenshots show various character interactions, tense moments, and some suggestive imagery, illustrating the blend of suspense and fan service. The article also mentions that the Saturn release comes bundled with a making-of CD, offering a deeper look into the game's world. Even Burst Error is presented as a highly anticipated port of a popular PC adventure game, aiming to deliver a powerful narrative experience on the console. This page delves into the core gameplay system and the Sega Saturn port features of the mystery adventure game, Even Burst Error. A major highlight discussed is the multi-site system, which allows players to alternate between the two main protagonists, Kojiro Amagi and Marina Huju, to tackle a complex serial murder case from different perspectives. This unique structure presents interlocking scenarios and events that are only fully understood by experiencing both sides, eventually converging into a single conclusion. An interview with the publisher, Imagineer, sheds light on the Saturn version's development. While the compelling narrative remains faithful to the original PC game, the Saturn port boasts significant enhancements, particularly in presentation. Over 20 minutes of new animated sequences, including movie scenes and detailed dot art animations, have been added to elevate the visual experience and emphasize key moments. The article also notes the inclusion of a luxurious voice actor cast, praised for their skill, which adds another layer of immersion to the game. The page introduces the two main characters, Kojiro Amagi, a private detective whose scenario begins with searching for a stolen painting, and Marina Huju, an elite investigator returning from America to protect a diplomat's daughter. Profiles for several supporting characters who play roles in either Kojiro's or Marina's story are also featured, hinting at the diverse cast involved in the unfolding mystery. The developers focused on bringing the game's full potential to the Saturn, making it a definitive version for console players. This page features a special report on the game Quo Vadis 2, Planetary Assault Ovenray, a dramatic simulation RPG. It highlights the game's engaging direction and system, emphasizing the beautiful animation sequences and detailed character designs obtained by the magazine. The game combines tactical simulation with a deep narrative, promising immersive gameplay. The article introduces the main characters central to the story, Oven Ray at age 19 and 29, Hilda Behrens, and Dion White, showcasing their distinct artwork. It touches on the prologue, setting the stage for interstellar conflict involving assault armors. Gameplay is depicted through screenshots, showing strategic map views and dynamic battle sequences. The development status is noted as 50% complete, with a targeted release in March '97. Overall, the page presents Quo Vadis 2 as a visually rich, story-focused mech strategy game with significant production value. This page focuses on the training simulation game Battle Athletes Dai Undu Sekai. The goal is to train a single girl into a top athlete. The player takes on the role of a coach, guiding the protagonist, Akari Kanzaki, through rigorous training to prepare her for the ultimate competition, the Great Athletic Meet. The core gameplay revolves around daily training. Players select different exercises that affect Akari's various physical and mental stats. The available training options expand as time progresses, moving beyond basic running to include more specialized techniques. The game emphasizes paying attention to Akari's physical condition and choosing training wisely, as improper training can lead to decreased stats. Performance and status changes are reflected visually through character graphics and stat displays. Beyond training, the game features numerous character events. These events, triggered at various points, range from comical interactions to more serious rivalries and collaborations with other characters. These events are central to the narrative and help develop Ashkari's personality and relationships. The page showcases the main characters, including Akari Kanzaki and her rivals/friends, highlighting their designs. Screenshots depict the training menu, graphical representation of Akari's stats, and various event scenes, illustrating the game's visual style and focus on character interaction alongside the simulation elements. It appears to be a charming character-focused training sim. This page introduces Taiku Rishiden 2, a unique historical simulation game by Koei that allows players to experience the rise of Toyotomi Hideyoshi from his humble beginnings. Unlike other historical simulations where you might play as a major lord from the start, this game puts you in the shoes of a low-ranking samurai under Oda Nobunaga. The core gameplay revolves around taking on various tasks and jobs assigned by your lord, ranging from simple errands like buying supplies to leading troops in battle. Success in these jobs earns you trust and merit, which are essential for promotion up the ranks. As you gain status, you'll be entrusted with more complex and crucial missions. The game also features a skill training system, allowing you to improve your abilities in areas like combat, strategy, and diplomacy, which is vital for tackling tougher assignments. Recruiting loyal retainers is also a key part of building your power base. Historical events are heavily integrated, reflecting Hideyoshi's actual path to power and presenting both opportunities and challenges. The screenshots show character portraits, the game's map, and battle sequences, illustrating the simulation aspects and character interactions. The goal is to eventually become a castle lord and conquer the land, making for a compelling personal journey through the Sengoku period. This page features Detective Saburo Jinguji. Unfinished Report, an entry in the long-running hard-boiled adventure series known internationally as Jake Hunter Detective Story. This installment is highlighted for its complex narrative structure, where multiple intertwined cases unfold in the Shinjuku district. A key feature is the sub-scenario system, which allows players to switch perspectives and see events through the eyes of different characters, adding depth and detail to the investigation. The gameplay involves classic adventure elements like exploring environments, questioning witnesses, and gathering clues. A unique mechanic allows the detective to smoke a cigarette when stuck, often leading to a breakthrough in thought. Beyond the main investigation, the game offers adult-like minigames, such as darts and blackjack, providing a change of pace. The story is described as dark and realistic, delving into social issues. The visuals showcase character portraits and 3D environments used for exploration, fitting the gritty, hard-boiled style. This page features Sengoku Ace Episode 2, also known as Tengai internationally. This is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up, where 5 heroes from the Warring States period battle bizarre demons. The objective is to rescue a princess captured by a warlord. Players choose from 5 distinct characters, each with their own unique main shot, option attack, and devastating bomb attack. The game emphasizes using these different shot types strategically, depending on the situation. The main shot levels up, and the option attack becomes more powerful when holding down the fire button. Bombs unleash massive destructive power, useful for clearing enemies and bullets. The game features 10 stages in total. The first 4 stages are random, leading to one of 3 middle stages, and the final 2 stages branch into 2 different endings. The stages offer varied environments, including forests, castles, and airborne sections, with vertical movement in some areas adding to the challenge. The characters are a highlight, each with unique designs and abilities. The artwork shows main characters like Koyori, Tengai, Hagane, Maru, and Yunis. The page also shows various boss encounters and typical gameplay screenshots. A bonus condrom is included, featuring character art collections, illustrations, and other content related to the game, and other Sikyo titles like Sengoku Ace and Soul Divide. It also includes a fortune-telling feature. This page features 2 classic Technosoft shooting games on the Sega Saturn. First up is Thunder Force Gold Pack 2, a compilation featuring the arcade version of Thunder Force AC and the Sega Genesis hit Thunder Force IV, known as Lightning Force in North America. This package includes enhancements like improved movie scenes in TFIV and fixes from the previous Gold Pack collection. Thunder Force AC is based on Thunder Force 2i, but features different stages and graphics compared to its console counterpart, while TFIV is the full, high-speed, horizontal scrolling shooter fans know and love, with adjustable speed and a powerful weapon leveling system. Also highlighted is Hyperduel, a unique shooter where players pilot transforming mechs called Buster Gears. You can switch between a fast fighter form with concentrated shots and a slower, more durable armor form with wider attacks. The game involves retrieving stolen weapons from enemies across 9 stages, utilizing special attacks, and even collecting support items that fight alongside you. The ability to strategically transform between forms adds a distinct layer to the gameplay. This page features Magical Night Dreams, Cotton 2, an isometric scrolling action game. Players control Princess Clara, her twin sister Kira, or the Pig Cat Gray, challenging the mechanical scrap empire to rescue captured animals across 5 stages. The game utilizes an isometric viewpoint, providing a unique perspective for the scrolling action. As players progress, they can collect items to power up their shot and attack range. A special Miracle Mirror item allows characters to transform into a superpowered state for a short duration, significantly boosting their abilities. Bombs are also available, and their effects can change based on player choices and conditions. The page introduces the main characters with artwork and descriptions. Clara is the carefree princess, Kira is her slightly more cautious twin, Yura is the responsible elder sister, and Gray, the close combat expert, is transformed into a pig form. Each stage concludes with a large, challenging boss battle, often mechanical giants, fitting the theme of the Scrap Empire enemies. The game offers both shooting and close-range attacks, with different characters excelling in different areas, encouraging players to pick a character that suits their style. The next page features 2 distinct action titles. On the left is Tri-Rush Derby, a comical character-based horizontal scrolling action game where players pilot a taxi-like vehicle across America to win races. The core gameplay involves managing diminishing fuel by collecting gas cans, while navigating obstacles and defeating enemies by jumping or dashing. Each stage is broken into areas and features unique bosses. Collecting neon stars allows access to bonus and slot minigames. Interactions with various rivals along the way can significantly alter future events, and the game's ending. On the right, Stakes Winner puts you in the jockey's seat for a realistic horse racing action game, aiming for the coveted GI title. Success hinges on rhythmically mashing buttons to whip your horse and maintaining its stamina. Players take on the roles of stable owner, breeder, and jockey, selecting horses, managing breeding for improved stats, and training them using different methods: speed, stamina, guts. Race strategy is crucial, involving finding optimal lines, avoiding collisions, and using items found on the track to recover stamina or boost speed. The game emphasizes the excitement of race developments and pushing your horse to the finish line. This page dives into a pair of action games. On the left is the Unlimited Battle Valva, an armed vehicular combat game supporting up to 6 players. You pilot various vehicles like buggies and hovercraft across diverse battlefields, focusing on destroying rivals. A key feature is the deep customization, allowing you to change weapons and modify your vehicle's body with numerous options to tune for battle. The game includes a story mode and a versus mode, showcasing smooth cutscenes powered by the SoftDeck engine and character designs by Hitoshi Ariga. Over on the right is Iron Man /XO Manowar in Heavy Metal, a side-scrolling action brawler featuring 2 heroes from American comics. You can play as either Iron Man or XO Manowar, each with their own unique movesets and special techniques triggered by command inputs. The gameplay involves progressing through stages, defeating enemies using punches, kicks, weapons, and jumps. Learning each hero's basic actions and mastering specific commands for powerful attacks like Iron Man's ranged blasts or XO Manowar's shield is crucial for success. The game supports 2-player simultaneous play, adding a cooperative element to the heroics. It emphasizes utilizing tactics to advance and survive the challenging levels. This page features 2 distinct titles. On the left, we have 1999 Pharaoh's Revival, a first-person 3D shooter set in ancient Egypt where you battle powerful aliens who have resurrected the pharaoh. Gameplay involves exploring expansive 3D environments, defeating enemies, solving environmental puzzles like finding keys for locked doors, and collecting items like weapons and health. The movement is full 360-degree, allowing free exploration and tactical positioning, with jumping being crucial for navigating the terrain. The game includes a helpful wireframe map overlay to aid navigation. On the right, we dive into Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Super Ents, a 2D fighting game based on the popular anime series. This is a standard fighting game featuring characters from the show, including a focus on Sailor Saturn. The game prides itself on replicating the flashy, anime-style special moves accurately. It includes essential fighting game modes like versus CPU and 2-player versus, plus a training mode to practice special techniques. An interesting feature is the ability customization system, allowing players to strengthen character parameters based on earned points. This page showcases a 3D shooter set in Egypt and a 2D fighting game featuring Sailor Moon characters and their signature moves. This page features 2 exciting sports simulations. On the left is NHL Powerplay 96, presented as a realistic depiction of ice hockey. The game emphasizes replicating the intensity and physics of the sport, allowing players to experience the game through multiple camera angles, including replays. It offers various game modes, such as exhibition matches, a full season, playoffs, and a world tournament mode, all featuring real NHL teams and players. On the right, we see NFL Quarterback Club 97, an American football title focusing on realistic NFL action. This version boasts updated player data, reflecting the 1996 season. Players can choose from 8 different camera angles to find their preferred view of the action. The game includes modes like Quick Play, NFL Play, Covering Season, Playoffs, Pro Bowl, and a detailed simulation mode. A standout feature is the support for up to 12 players using a multi-tap, allowing for large multiplayer games, and the ability to create custom dream teams by trading players. This page showcases 2 distinct shogi, Japanese chess, titles for the Sega Saturn. On the left is Taikyoku Shogi Kyoku Godan, focusing on serious study and improvement, packed with features like adjustable AI difficulty, practice modes for different game speeds and handicaps, and in-depth analysis tools like game record replay and endgame studies. It also includes extensive problem sets like Sum Shogi, checkmate problems, and next move problems, designed to test and enhance player skill. Screenshots primarily show various game board configurations and menu options for the training modes. On the right is Geta no Kishi, Aryusen, based on the popular shogi manga. This game prioritizes recreating the atmosphere of the original work, featuring character dialogue and reactions during matches. The main mode follows the Our Yuzen tournament arc, where players face a series of unique and challenging opponents, each with their own style. There's also a free match mode, allowing battles against any character, supporting handicaps, and 2-player games. A practice mode with the protagonist's mentor, featuring helpful hints, is also included. Screenshots showcase character art, dialogue scenes, and the game board interface. The page also briefly mentions a collection of 150 Tsume shogi problems for appreciation, suggesting these titles offer comprehensive shogi experiences. This page previews Saturn software scheduled for release in late November, highlighting significant titles expected to leverage the system's hardware, such as Virtua Cop 2 and the latest Virtua Fighter game. It introduces the magazine's review team before diving into previews of 4 upcoming games. First up is Daiundu Kai, a simulation game focused on training a young athlete, noted for its character interactions. Next is Taiku Rishiden 2, a historical simulation and RPG set in Japan's Sengoku period, recommended for fans of the era. Following that is Jinga Ayu Densetsu, a simulation or strategy title based on the popular sci-fi series, described as having a complex but logical system. Finally, the page looks at Tante Jinguji Saburo, Mikan no Rupo, the 5th entry in the detective adventure series, praised for its evolution. Each preview includes screenshots, reviewer comments on gameplay and appeal, and recommendations for different player types. This page reviews several Saturn games. Iron Man/XO Manowar is an action game praised for high production value and multiplayer, though combat can be visually confusing. Tri-Rush Deppy offers accessible side-scrolling action with fun minigames. Virtua On Cyber Troopers delivers a faithful arcade port with intense battles and excellent controls, considered a must-play fighting game. Battle Bub provides engaging versus vehicle combat. Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon Super's various emotion caters to fans of the anime, though it might lack depth for serious fighting game fans. Finally, Zoop is a puzzle game with simple rules but surprisingly deep strategic gameplay. This page continues the Game Impressions series, featuring a mix of genres. We have reviews for Sengoku Blade, released as Bomber in the West, a solid arcade shooter port praised for its varied characters and adjustable difficulty, making it accessible to both newcomers and seasoned players. Virtua Cop 2 gets a highly positive review, lauded for its intense, simple gun-shooting action and realistic enemy reactions, a faithful arcade experience on the Saturn. Next is Seiyuki 1999 Legend of the Pharaoh, a unique 3D shooter with a distinct atmosphere described as Doom-like, offering realistic graphics and fast-paced combat, though it's noted as somewhat challenging. For sports fans, NFL Quarterback Club 97 is reviewed. While detailed, the complete lack of Japanese text and the need for strong NFL knowledge make it less accessible for many. Victory Goal Worldwide Edition, an improved soccer game, is highlighted for its realistic player movement and detailed World Cup mode, a good choice for competitive soccer fans. There's also a brief mention of Pradal Disc Special Edition, seemingly a disc focused on game-related cosplayers. Finally, Panzer Dragoon Mini is discussed as a simplified Saturn adaptation of the series, offering fast-paced shooting action with less graphical fidelity than its mainline counterparts. This page continues the Game Impressions series, starting with reviews for 2 shogi games, Getka no Kishi or Yusen, which is based on a manga, and Taigyoku Shogi Kiwami 2. Reviewers note that Getka no Kishi is good for newcomers and fans of the original work, but perhaps lacks presentation polish, while Taigyoku Shogi Kiwami 2 offers strong shogi gameplay with challenging AI. But some reviewers found the waiting time for the computer's moves lengthy. Next up are 2 shooting game reviews. Hyperduel, a vertical shooter, is highlighted for its transformation mechanics and being a solid port of the arcade game. Thunder Force Gold Pack 2 compiles classic horizontal shooters from the arcade and Mega Drive, and it's seen as a good package for fans of the series, successfully addressing issues present in previous ports. The page also features a roundtable discussion where multiple reviewers share their thoughts on various games, including the shogi titles, Bomber, Sengoku Blade, Virtua Cop 2 from the previous page, and the highly anticipated Cyber Troopers Virtualon. They discuss the accessibility of the shogi games, the impact of game presentation, and the excitement for Virtualon's unique mech combat. This page is dedicated to showcasing Ultex, expert tips and tricks for various Sega Saturn titles, with a strong focus on major simulation games like Langrisser 2i and legendary Ogre Battle. For Langrisser 2i, you can learn how to unlock a scenario select feature after completing the game once, allowing you to jump into specific points in the story. Another tip reveals a strategy to potentially prevent MP loss during combat using specific item configurations. Legendary Ogre Battle players are clued into 3 secret names that unlock music and sound tests, as well as access to a hidden stage known as Dragon's Haven. Other featured tips include a surefire poker strategy in Haunted Casino, methods for changing the camera view in the shooting game Steeldom, plus an infinite continue trick, how to unlock and play as the Empress character in Magical Drop 2, a technique to reduce opponent points in the Mahjong title Summer Color Memories, a cool feature in Dark Savior's sound test where the keyboard syncs with the music, unlocking extra modes in Mysterious World El Hazard by achieving all 8 endings, accessing a sound test in Langrisser 2i, and even how to control the opponent's pitcher in Greatest 996. The page also includes a call for readers to submit their own tips and requests via postcard or fax for future features in this segment. This page features an urgent scoop on AM2's next game, utilizing the powerful Model 3 arcade board, tentatively titled Supercar. Positioned as the second title on the Model 3 platform, this game is an international GT endurance race simulator. It promises further enhanced visual beauty and incredibly immersive graphics, highlighting details like realistic environments, dynamic lighting changes, mist effects, and even sparks that fly upon collision. Adding significant anticipation, the game is being developed by Toshihiro Nagoshi, the acclaimed producer of Daytona USA, marking his first new work in 3 years. The game will feature cars based on actual endurance race machines, including the Ferrari F40, McLaren F1, and Porsche. Players will have the option to change camera views, including cockpit and external perspectives. Notably, virtual advertising returns, this time featuring Japan Airlines, with a jumbo jet appearing in-game. The article expresses strong expectation for this title, especially for fans of Daytona USA. The next page provides a comprehensive strategy guide for Virtua Fighter 3, specifically focusing on the unique character Takarashi, the sumo wrestler. It analyzes his strengths and weaknesses, offering detailed breakdowns of key moves like his powerful mid-level attacks and devastating aerial combos. The guide explains how to effectively use moves such as Kanetsuki and Tsuyubarai, and provides tactics for countering common opponent strategies. Furthermore, the page includes an in-depth analysis of low-kick counters, categorizing every character in the game based on their vulnerability and reaction to this tactic. Finally, the page celebrates Virtua Fighter 3's success, announcing its win of the Asahi Digital Entertainment Award and featuring a photo of AM2 producer Yu Suzuki accepting the honor, a testament to the game's technical excellence and impact. This page continues the discussion of hidden characters in Last Bronx, focusing heavily on Red Eye. Red Eye is the final boss encountered in the game's combattle mode, and he's described as having high combat ability. The page highlights his distinctive look, and includes a large image of him posing, along with the quote, "It's fun to beat up people." Unlocking Red Eye involves clearing the combattle mode with all 8 regular characters, and then inputting a specific command on the character select screen. His unique moves are listed, including techniques like the double spin kick and ground wash mount. The page also briefly mentions Gray, another hidden character, whose appearance is tied to conditions involving Red Eye. Screenshots show Red Eye in combat, and on the character select screen, confirming he can be played. A small section at the bottom details a Sega Prize event held in November. This page features a coming soon preview, spotlighting the highly anticipated release of the King of Fighters 96. As a seasoned fighting game enthusiast, I can confirm this entry was a significant evolution for the series. The article generates excitement by highlighting the game's massive roster, now expanded to 27 fighters, bringing in fan favorites and introducing notable new characters like Kasumi Tado and the boss characters Geese Howard and Wolfgang Krauser. Beyond the character count, the article delves into the refined gameplay systems. It touches upon the power gauge mechanics, including the ability to charge power manually and the introduction of support attacks, where teammates can briefly assist. A key new defensive mechanic, emergency evasion, is also showcased, allowing for quick retreats or advancement with temporary invincibility. Screenshots vividly capture the intensity of battles, featuring dynamic matchups like Kyo Kusanagi versus Iori Yagami, and showcasing iconic special moves like Terry Bogard's Power Geyser. The page effectively conveys the jump in roster size and strategic depth that KOF 96 promised, building anticipation for its release. This coming soon page previews a diverse set of upcoming titles. The collection includes the Laserdisc games Time Gal and Ninja Hayate, offering interactive movie experiences demanding quick reactions. Time Gal follows a time-traveling heroine, while Ninja Hayate involves rescuing a princess. For fighting fans, Legend of Tak 1 is a database providing fighter profiles, interviews, and match footage. Black Dawn offers intense 3D helicopter shooting combat against terrorists. Area 51 delivers an arcade-style on-rails shooter, set in the iconic secret base. Simulation Zuzu puts players in charge of rebuilding and managing a zoo, focusing on park design, animal care, and attracting visitors. This selection promises a range of gameplay experiences, from action and simulation, to sports documentation and interactive video. This page previews several upcoming Sega Saturn titles, starting with Jikyu Oshibari Parodius Forever With Me, a cheerful entry in the classic Konami shooter series known for its quirky characters and heavy parody. The game features voice commentary during gameplay, and is a port of the Super Famicom version, packed with familiar faces and trademark Chowtek action. It also includes a two-player mode, where players can interact in amusing ways. Next up is Pyon Pyon Kyalul no Mahjong Biori, an anime-style mahjong game where players compete against charming female characters to fulfill their wishes. It includes both a story mode and free battles. For strategy fans, Sengokushi Returns brings the romance of the Three Kingdoms simulation series, with improved graphics and added features, including a cinematic opening and strategic commander commands. Switching gears to combat, Funky Head Boxers is a humorous boxing game featuring popular Yoshimoto comedians with comically oversized heads, promising flashy special moves and laughs in the ring, along with a training mode. Finally, Ayu Shigan Galact Heroism is a simulation RPG ported from PC, set in a school where players strive to become a hero, encountering rivals and undergoing personal growth. The port boasts enhanced presentation and a branching narrative with multiple endings. An article mentions a press conference where the game's voice actresses were present. This page delves into reports from two major Sega Saturn events, the Digital Circus Anniversary Tour and E3 Tokyo 96. The Digital Circus was a traveling event celebrating the Saturn's second anniversary, allowing fans to get hands-on with upcoming software like Virtual On, Cyber Troopers, and potentially Shining Force 2i. The report highlights game tournaments and a unique mini-live performance by Polishoy Circus as key attractions. It sounds like a fun, festive event packed with gameplay opportunities across multiple cities. Next up is the E3 Tokyo 96 report from Makuhari Messe, showcasing the latest in interactive entertainment. The Saturn presence featured playable demos of anticipated titles, such as Humans Fire Pro Wrestling S. 6 Men Scramble, and Technosoft's Shooter Blast Wind, alongside others like Virtua Fighter Kids and the 3D shooter Gvector. Beyond the games, the event featured engaging booth activities including cosplayer photo sessions and developer conferences, providing insights into the industry, such as Naoki Usawa's unique approach to game creation. A final section briefly covers upcoming titles, including Stenks, The King of Fighters, 96 and 95 Double Pack, Datum Polystar's Shooter Layer Section 2, known internationally as Darius, a port of the adventure game Snow Queen, and Acclaim's Batman Forever, the arcade game. It's clear the Saturn had a strong lineup across various genres coming soon. This report provides a status update on numerous upcoming Sega Saturn games. The grid format details titles, developers, genres, and release information, with a key focus on development progress, indicated by percentages. The games span various genres, including racing, Titan USA Circuit Edition, RPGs, Terra Fantastica, Shining the Holy Ark, Grandia, Lunar Series, Adventure, Qianqian Bunny Premiere 2, Enemy Zero, Fighting/Action, Fake Down, Assault Suit Lanos 2, and Shooters, Gradius Deluxe Pack, Macross, Strategy/Simulation RPGs, Quo Vadis 2, Tactics Ogre, and other unique titles, Dragon Master Silk, character games, are also featured. Notably, Duke Say 2 has 2 entries. The report includes insights into progress, features, and reviewer impressions. Many major titles were in various stages of development. A final section lists the involved companies, clarifying the report's informative purpose. This page presents the upcoming release calendar for Sega Saturn and Game Gear titles, giving gamers a clear look at what to expect in the coming months. It's neatly organized by month and release status, listing the game title, developer or publisher, and price. Kicking off the schedule are November releases featuring titles like Chaos Control Remix, and the highly anticipated Virtua Cop 2, a fantastic light gun shooter. December brings a diverse lineup, including the strategy game Magic Carpet, the classic puzzle action of Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, and the compilation Thunder Force Gold Pack 2. As we move into the undecided or future release sections, we see some truly massive titles planned for the Saturn. There's the atmospheric survival horror of Resident Evil, the deep RPG Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, and the legendary Rayman. Fighting game fans can look forward to Final Fight Revenge, and potentially a Saturn port of Symphony of the Night, a game that absolutely defined a genre. While many titles are still listed with undecided dates, the sheer variety across genres like action, RPG, strategy, and simulation promises an exciting future for the console. There's also a small section dedicated to Game Gear releases, featuring titles like Panzer Dragoon Mini and Mickey and Minnie's Happy Diary. Overall, this calendar reveals a strong pipeline of diverse software, showcasing both familiar franchises and new experiences for Saturn and Game Gear owners. This page features a large illustration of a character from the game Battle Athletes Dai Undo Kai, a hot-blooded beautiful girl sports simulation game for the Sega Saturn. The prominent text next to the character translates to a plea. Please, make her the best girl in the universe. The game is announced for a December 13th release, at a price of 5,800 yen plus tax. The page also includes an index of games covered in the magazine, an index of advertisers, and the editor's postscript. The editor discusses reader feedback and anticipates future content related to the Sega Saturn. There are also sections for reader inquiries, explanations on how to read game specification tables, and a list of contributors. This page continues the theme of upcoming releases seen on the previous page, highlighting a specific anticipated title. This page focuses on the upcoming Sega Saturn title, Graduation S. It's presented as a racing simulation game, promising many thanks to you, the player. The central illustration features the main cast of 5 distinct schoolgirls, captured in a dynamic group pose within a framed picture. Surrounding this central image are individual profiles of each of the 5 heroines: Reiko Takashiro, Mami Shimura, Shizuka Nakamoto, Mika Katu, and Kiyomi Arai. Each character is depicted with a small chibi-style mascot and a screenshot showcasing a different aspect or scenario from the game, hinting at varied events and personality traits, from beach outings and winter sports to more intriguing situations. Published by NEC Interchannel, the game is announced as scheduled for release soon, continuing the magazine's trend of highlighting exciting new simulation experiences for the platform. It offers a glimpse into the world and characters players will be guiding through their school years.